Have you ever wondered why pride, a seemingly positive trait, is often portrayed negatively in religious text? Pride, typically celebrated as a mark of self-worth and achievement, presents a paradox when viewed through the lens of Christianity. This is the enigma we're exploring today. Is pride a virtue or vice, a crown or a pitfall? Such a dichotomy, right? It's fascinating how one concept can have such contrasting interpretations. Let's delve into what the Bible truly says about pride. In the book of Proverbs, Solomon, the wisest king, warns against pride. This warning is not merely an afterthought, but a central theme that echoes throughout the narratives of the Old Testament. Let's delve deeper into Proverbs 16:18, which states, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." It serves as a timeless reminder of the dangers of pride. The verse suggests a direct correlation between pride and downfall, implying that an inflated sense of self-importance can precipitate our own undoing. This is because pride, by its very nature, distances us from the humble recognition of our human limitations and our dependency on others and God. Moreover, the phrase "a haughty spirit before a fall" further emphasizes the destructive power of pride. The term haughty denotes arrogance, a form of pride that blinds us to our own flaws and fosters an illusion of invincibility. This illusion, however, is shattered when the inevitable fall occurs, serving as a harsh reality check. The implications of this verse on human behavior and moral values are profound. It suggests that humility rather than pride should be the guiding principle of our lives. This is not to say that we should downplay our achievements or abilities, but rather, we should acknowledge that these are not solely our own doing, but the result of many factors beyond our control. So the Old Testament clearly warns about pride leading to downfall. It's a lesson that resonates through the ages, reminding us of the importance of humility in our lives. Moving on to the New Testament, the Apostle Paul addresses pride in his letter to the Romans. In the 12th chapter of Romans verse 16, Paul writes, "Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited." This verse is more than a call for humility, it's a blueprint for how Christians should live. When Paul says, "live in harmony with one another," he's not just talking about getting along. He's speaking to the interconnectedness of humanity, the shared experience we all have in this world. It's a reminder that we are all one body, each of us a part of the whole. Do not be proud, Paul continues, but be willing to associate with people of low position. The implication here is clear. Pride isolates, while humility connects. Pride builds walls, separating us from others. Humility, on the other hand, bridges gaps. It allows us to see the value in everyone, regardless of their status or station in life. Finally, Paul warns against conceit, a form of pride that not only elevates oneself, but also looks down on others. This is a dangerous path, for it distorts our perception of reality and hinders our ability to love as Christ loved us. The New Testament, too, encourages humility and discourages pride. From these verses, it's clear that the Bible has a consistent message about pride. Pride, as we've explored, is a recurrent theme throughout both the Old and New Testaments. Time and again, we find instances where pride leads to downfall, to destruction. It's the story of King Nebuchadnezzar, transformed into a beast due to his arrogance. It's the tale of the Pharisees, blinded by their self-righteousness, unable to recognize the Messiah they'd been waiting for. But why does the Bible place such emphasis on the pitfalls of pride? The answer lies in the nature of pride itself. It's a barrier, a wall that separates us from others and from God. It makes us believe we're self-sufficient, that we don't need anyone else, least of all a higher power. Pride, in essence, is the root of moral decay, a poison that seeps into our hearts and minds, gradually distancing us from the path of righteousness. Yet the Bible does not leave us without a solution. It calls us to humility, a virtue that's the antidote to pride. Humility acknowledges our limitations, our dependence on others and on God. It opens the door to compassion, to empathy, to love. It's the way of Jesus, who despite being the Son of God, washed the feet of his disciples. The Bible, therefore, offers a powerful message: humility triumphs over pride always.